Hello everyone, I'm Justice Graves and I am currently running to be a member of the Narragansett Regional School Committee here in Templeton, Massachusetts, and today we are going to do something different here on the channel. For my campaign, I'm going to do the political compass test. So we are going to see how that goes. I'm going to switch over, I'm going to do it live. Well, live recorded. This is going to be pre-recorded before I put it online. So we are just going to jump right into it. I have never taken the political compass test before. I finally got it to work on here. So we will just see how that goes. Take the test. No. Before taking the test, note that this is not a survey and these are not questions. They are propositions. To question the logic of individual ones that irritate you is to miss the point. Some propositions are extreme, and some are moderate. That's how we can show you whether you lean towards extremism or moderation on your compass. The responses should not be overthought. Some of them are intentionally vague. Their purpose is to trigger reactions in the mind, measure feelings and prejudices rather than detailed opinions on policy. Just a few propositions to start with concerning no less how you see the country and the world. Well, that's not going to be a quick jump, is it? If economic globalism is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. I would say I agree. In a perfect world, I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. I disagree. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Disagree. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. Strongly disagree. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Strongly agree. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. If you read Common Sense and the Government, you would understand how I came to that. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Yeah, I'm going to go with strongly agree. 2 of 6. Now the economy. We're talking attitudes here, not the FTSE index. Great. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Ooh, I really agree with that. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Ooh. I'll go with agree. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Ooh. I'll agree a little bit. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need, is a fundamentally good idea. From each to each according to his need. Oh gosh. I'll just slightly agree with that. The 3 are the market, the 3 are the people. I agree. I feel like these are slightly contradicting each other now. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. Not necessarily. I've seen worse. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I disagree. I'll go with strongly disagree. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Alright, I've actually read, if you've ever read Plato's Republic, there is a section on, it's in the first chapter, or the first book, but the first chapter about if you have wealth already and you don't use it. I agree with basically I'm just going to say that I strongly agree with this. I agree with the premise because of this within Plato's Republic, so I agree with this. Oh wait, it is regrettable. Not that it's regrettable, I strongly disagree. I don't think this is a problem, because usually people who make money by manipulating money have already earned their fortunes from people who did vile deeds. That doesn't mean that the person who now has the money is evil. There's a huge difference. So I just want to point that out. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Agree. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. I strongly disagree, but I fully recognize that this is the reason why we have problems, because we have now put too much responsibility that they should have morality, and it's not going well. The rich are too highly taxed. In this country? Depends on what you mean by the rich. I think they're talking about the individual, which I would say disagree, but companies, we're getting up there too much. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. I agree with that. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Strongly agree. And I know there's a contradiction. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Yes, I don't like monopolies. I don't like monopolistic tendencies. Now take a look at your personal social values. Oh, this is going to be a problem. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Oh, God. All authority should be questioned. Abortion, when a woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. There's a limit. I disagree, but there's a limit. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Strongly disagree. I don't believe in that for a society. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. Oh, this is bad because I'm going to disagree. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. What? Disagree. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Oh, God, I feel like this is another superiority complex question. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. I think I've seen almost every parent hit their kid once. Once. It's natural for children to keep secrets from their parents. Yeah, they do. All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. I only slightly agree with this. Some people really shouldn't be out in the middle of society. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Yeah, I agree. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. I only slightly agree with that. People with serious inheritable disability should not be allowed to reproduce. Oh, God. This is a population control question. Disagree. The most important thing for children is to learn to accept discipline. Yeah, they have... Not... Slightly agree. If I could change this to criticism, I would, but I can't. There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures. I have seen... that's not true, because even within different cultures, there are subsections that are really bad. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. I'll agree. When you are troubled, it is better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. I would say agree sometimes, but you gotta focus on the problems. First-generation immigrants can never be truly fully integrated within their new country. I disagree with that a lot. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. I really disagree with this. No broadcasting institution, however independent in its content, should receive public funding. You know what? After the year that we've had, strongly disagree. I mean, no, should ever receive no profit. Okay, never mind. Opposite. I strongly agree that they probably shouldn't get money, because this year was just bad. And how you see wider society. Oh, this is going to be awful. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Yeah, the Patriot Act was not good. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a This is a terrible idea. This is literally the problem we have today. Basically. Anybody who thinks that the elite GOP and that the elite, Democratic Party aren't basically the same thing doesn't know what they're looking at. Although the electronic age makes online official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers should be worried. Yeah, after the year we've had, I would strongly disagree. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Only for the most serious. I agree, but only for things such as, like, terrorism and, like, extreme problems, like treason. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and below to be commanded. This is so not fun. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Yeah, I agree. In a civilized society, one must always have people that need to be obeyed and people that need to be commanded. It's definitely not strongly agree or strongly disagree. In a civilized society. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Disagree, we really need to focus more on rehabilitation. In a civilized society, one must always be above. There's always going to be leaders and there's always going to be followers. So I have to agree with this because this happens anyway. It's never going to switch. This is just how humanity works. This is just how being alive works. It is a waste of time to try and rehabilitate some criminals. Some, but not all, so I slightly agree. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. It really depends. I only slightly disagree. Mothers may have carers, but their first duty is... Mothers may have careers, oh my god, but their first duty is to be homemakers. No, that's between the parents to figure out. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the planet genetic resources for developing countries. Are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. Wow. Yeah, making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Yes. You have to go within to actually fix things. You can't just destroy whatever you want. If you got through that, okay, you'll find these propositions on religion agrees. Oh, okay, so that's gonna be bad. Astrology accurately explains many things. I disagree. It really depends. You cannot be moral without being religious. I strongly disagree. Charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. Oh, I slightly disagree with this. Some people are naturally unlucky. Yep. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Please don't. Finally, a look at sex. Oh, God. Sex outside marriage is usually considered immoral. Disagree. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Should not be excluded. Strongly agree. We discriminate a lot against single males that try... We discriminate a lot against different groups that try and go into the DCF system and actually adopt, so it's a problem. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be illegal for the adult population. We're going to skip that for just a second. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state, as long as it's consenting. So that's why I'm saying agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual. I disagree with this. This is ridiculous. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. What am I going to say? Slightly agree. You can't stop people. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Yeah. No one can feel naturally homosexual. They can, which is why I disagree. Because they can. Now let's see where I stand. Oh, this is going to be awful. Where am I? This is left and right. This is authoritarian and libertarian. Yeah, I know how this works. Where the heck am I? Okay, this makes a lot of sense. Alright, so we're going to stop here. This is where I am. So I'm not authoritarian. Yeah, I figured I was more libertarian. Slightly more left than right, but I'm not crazy. Where is everybody else on the scale? Thatcher, Gandhi, Friedman. That's true. I feel like depending, if I could answer even more specifically, it would shift more this way. Or it would at least shift this way, more to the center from left and right, because I don't think even being this far to the left is exactly correct. Maybe if it was, -1, I would feel like that -1 to the left. But I don't think it's, almost 2 points. Claim your free political compass certificate. Yeah. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. And I'm going to switch back. And that is that. That is my political compass test. Hopefully some of my answers weren't horrifying, but you get the idea. So hopefully that was interesting, and hopefully that gave you more of a insight into how I think and how my mind works. So hope that was interesting. Thank you.